What up, bitches?
You always start.
It's episode 6.
You always start them like the last one. I was just like, ah, and it came in, which I didn't really like, but
I actually liked it.
okay. I just thought, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't really matter. God damn, it's late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We just finished recording, and you guys can guess the time. And if you guessed 2:30 in the morning, then you're right, because that's how committed we are to this shit.
It was the only time available that I had before Monday, and that was, I've been going for 72 hours. I talk about all of that in this episode, and I was like, Caleb, the only time we have is 12 a.m.
And I'm like, let's get it. Let's go. I'll be there.
So, yeah, welcome back. Like he
Fucking
said,
love you guys. Just saying that. Hey,
yeah,
love you.
Awesome. Again, responses wonderful. Just
favorite people.
This is so much fun, man.
Every single time. I just can't fucking wait to do the next one. I'm just like, oh, this is podcast day.
Yeah.
Go fucking record the podcast.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So also, keep in mind that we're recording this. We started at midnight, ended at 2 in the morning. It's not a 2-hour one this time. Luckily, we dodged that. But keep in mind that it's late, and so our brains are on night mode.
Like, we're doing this intro, and we're trying to figure out exactly what to say next, but we're actually not doing that bad.
It's fun.
Yeah.
We're kind of pros at this. No big fucking deal.
No big fucking deal or anything. And then instantly just fuck up right now. I don't know what to say. So, I mean, we can just briefly go over.
I mean, like the first half, I think, is like just
me
you talking about like what you've been up to and and your trip and all the cool shit you did. And then we get it. We go off tangents like that, and we open up tabs and never fucking close them, and it's a good time.
No, we actually did.
We closed out a lot of them, but we still do what we do.
And then we went into like cool little. It was kind of more a lot of jokes. In the
I was to say the first half was us laughing at dumb shit.
Really dumb shit.
So yeah, when it's late and our brains are down, like we're not gonna get too philosophical on y'all.
And we did at the end though.
Yeah, we always touch it a little.
Yeah, it's always a good time.
Yeah.
So I think that pretty much can start up the beginning. We don't have a guest to introduce. This is the
Monday episode, so it's just
us two,
the good old two.
And yeah, man, I think that.
Let's get into it.
Awesome. All right,
let's usher them on.
What?
Take him to the chorus.
Okay. And we're going to start it now. If it looks like I'm in the zone and not AutoZone, it is because I have been going for 72 fucking hours, sleeping for like 6-hour increments. But I'm just going to give you that heads up now that, like, if I'm looking at you a certain way, it is because not only am I running through everything I still need to do, but I am trying to recover from everything I just did.
So it's not because you want to kill me. Because that's the stare you're giving.
Dude, the past 72 hours has been out of this fucking world busy. Like,
I mean, you were in another state for a chunk of it.
I was literally in another state like 8 hours ago.
Yeah. And now you're back here at the podcast table.
Actually, 8 hours ago, yeah, we were wrapping up at the Heigl household.
The Heigl household? You were at her house?
We were at her ranch.
She has a ranch?
She has a ranch. Okay, so let's go.
I thought you were going to go to like some public place where she was like hosting something, and then you were going to record. You went to her fucking like humble abode.
Oh, I can't. I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm really fucking excited. So, what's today? Technically now Saturday.
Well, now that it is past midnight, we're recording this 20 minutes from 1 a.m. It's now April 13th, Saturday.
Because my schedule has been so fucking insane that this is the only day that I have free before. Well, now you're listening on Monday. I'll release on Monday. So what is it? Technically Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Wednesday, I started recording. I filmed at UCLA all day. We were doing. Ooh, excuse me. It's good. I was. Oh, let's just fix that real quick. Let's turn the phones on.
Do not disturb.
Yeah. So. You're good though, right? Like you got everything figured out. Okay.
Good to go.
We always make sure that we get like every message covered and every avenue covered so that way we can stay off of our phones. So we film all day at UCLA
3 days ago
on Wednesday. And that goes later than normal always because schedules always get pushed. And then we go back to Alan's, and after like everything throughout the day, I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck, I didn't upload the podcast. So I was up till like 1:30 getting everything done. And I had to wake up at 6:30 to go film at UCLA again. So now that we're on Thursday, finish up the rest of the project. We wrap up at about 11:30. We go back to his house and we pack everything up, condense all of our stuff and make sure that we don't take too much extra stuff. And then the photographer that went with us, who was hired for the job, I'll explain in a second. She showed up. She's wonderful, by the way. Talking to her a little bit about
That's good.
life and the podcast and her work and all that other stuff. And we get in an Uber and we go to LAX, and everything worked out nicely. Like, dude, starting from the moment we got done at UCLA, everything went smoothly. It was fucking wonderful. Like we got there early. We got on our plane, no problems, no loud noises, like half full plane. We get to Utah.
How many A's and H's is in Utah?
Utah. I don't remember the exact time, somewhere around like 3 or something, I think. And dude, it's fucking sick in Utah. Like, I wouldn't move out there, just because like there's really nothing out there.
Utah actually has some of the prettiest national parks.
Right.
They like my biggest beef with moving to any other fucking state is like the coast.
Right.
I fucking love California, regardless of the politics and whether how we run in the state. Like
It's
love
just
this
really
place.
fucking expensive out here.
Exactly, that's like a big part of it. Like, it's a big price, but there's a reason for it. It's because it's because it's the shit.
It's the shit, and it is shit all at the same time.
Exactly.
But
Gotta
I do
love
still
it.
like it. I
Yeah.
mean, dude, when I told the photographer that we were working with, I just don't want to throw out her name. I don't know if she wants it. Did I already say her name?
No.
Yeah, okay. So told her that I lived out here, and she stopped walking. She's like, "You live in Lancaster?" Every time you tell somebody from fucking LA that you live in Lancaster, they're just like, "How could you?"
You mean you're not a criminal?
So
They literally have a prison out there. I thought that's where you all lived.
so that's that's good. So we show up to Utah, and the fucking surrounding, because we landed in Salt Lake City, the surrounding mountains all over the fucking place. If you just twist this so you're good? Okay. He was just fixing his mic. The surrounding mountains are just covered in fucking snow.
I've seen pictures. It looks like gorgeous.
Oh. So we get in the car, our coordinator for Alan's coordinator. The company is Alan Larson Films. Alan Larson is the guy that I work for. Again, wonderful guy. Love that guy. Love this entire trip. It was fucking awesome, dude.
Hell yeah.
And the flight was only like an hour and 50 minutes there. And I don't know why, but I was prepping for like a 5-hour flight.
Oh no.
Because I was really confused on where we were going. Because like
Utah's pretty close.
Right, it is.
It's like a state over.
It's
like
literally almost like a neighboring state.
Yeah, there's a state in between us, I believe.
Where's Idaho?
That's
farther.
It's more north.
Okay, but that's farther.
We
can look it up really quick.
Pull up a good
because
old state map.
we're going to Idaho. Oh no, I didn't want to open that. Oh god.
Yeah, from what I believe, Idaho's like northern, not quite west, but it's still considered like the west because it's not dead center.
Okay, cool. I just really wanted to look this up, and now I don't even. Hold on. So, anyway, Idaho is Idaho is like almost the same distance as Utah.
Really?
Yeah, like Here, I'll turn this so
Yeah.
you can
Flip this bad boy around. Let's see this nice, colorful elementary school map of the United States, because we are fucking adults and we don't know our
Utah?
own country.
Idaho.
Idaho. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
Idaho is literally sitting on top of Utah.
Depending on where we go in Idaho.
Yeah, you could go all the way to fucking Canada. That shit goes all the way up for some reason.
Yeah. Oh,
Idaho is like a
shit.
square that's for some reason has this long appendage that touches Canada's ass.
You call that a square?
A square with an appendage.
I'll
Like
take
it
it.
could be a square, but
I'll
then there's that
accept
tumor that looks like a
but
yam.
then there's that tumor. So anyway, we fucking go. We land in Utah. Our coordinator's out there. She's wonderful too. Just the whole team. It's our cool little team of 3, and it's fucking
Dun, 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 dun.
dope. We go to the hotel to drop off all of our stuff. The hotel's really fucking nice. We're in Salt Lake City, which is like a really nice city. It is like city life, but not jam packed. In fact, there's like nobody fucking there. And they have
It's because they're all out knocking on doors.
fun fact, because now that you bring that up, that's funny. Utah, if you don't know,
Mormon Central.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
and
You
we
get stared at if you're not wearing a white dress-up tee and a, and a
Yeah,
black tie.
that fun fact that I was going to bring up is that Mormons are trying to take back the word Mormon, and I recently learned this from our coordinator.
It's the M word.
No, seriously, apparently, like they find it offensive because it's a nickname.
What's the actual term?
They want to be called Jesus Christ. They're basically followers of Jesus Christ and the Latter-day Saints.
Oh my God.
Is that Latterdale? Latter-day? Is
Latter-day.
it Latter-day Saints? So they want to be called JCLDS.
JCLDS?
No, I'm not.
I'm not referring
calling
you.
you Mormons. Like you're not getting.
I'm not calling you JCLSD or whatever you want to get.
That's actually the exact joke. It's like in Catholic churches when you eat the
Communion.
Yeah, and you eat the fucking, what is it, the body of Christ and drink
Yeah.
his blood or whatever, which,
Well, you know, next to praying, cannibalism is the next best thing.
I found that so fucking weird when I was a kid.
It's symbolic because Jesus.
Symbolic, sin, they're not the same. I was going to try and...
With me now, everybody, boys and girls.
So, yeah, they want to take it back, and they want to be called the followers of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints.
That is such a fucking mouthful.
If you actually look it up, their church, just so I can get this right, is called... It's like their main church, right? So once
it's like
we the Church of Jesus Christ,
the HQ.
yeah, that's what it's called, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But apparently, like it's all of them are named that, but this specific one is like their main HQ. Like this is where like
all the programming gets sent.
Brandon commented on one of the posts that I put up, saying that like I think he's been there or something along those lines, and or he knew somebody that was there, and people get married there like they're waiting in a line.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense. I mean,
yeah,
like,
for their culture.
yeah, that's their little like
Right.
2-state mecca.
Right. So
they go on their journey.
we drop off all the stuff at the hotel, and before we go and eat, we go to that church because it has a very well known what is it called, the people that sing tabernacle.
I was gonna say tabernacle as a joke, but
I think that's what it's called.
maybe.
Okay, because it sounds really fucking funny when you say it now.
Well,
But
tabernacle sounds like haberdashery, and I know those two things are totally different.
what the fuck is a haberdasher?
A haberdashery, I believe.
Haberdashery?
Haberdashery is like I believe it's like a shop where they sell like fancy hats and scarves and shit. It's like
How do you spell it?
19th century shit. Haberdashery.
Haberdashery.
If I don't know how to,
I got it.
oh,
I got
nice.
it.
How's
HABER-Y.
okay?
Okay.
Nice.
So that's men's clothing and accessories or small items used in sewing, such as buttons, zippers, and threads.
Yeah, little trinky stuff
Yeah.
for
So tabernacle, in biblical use, a fixed or movable habitation, typically of light construction, or a meeting place for worship used by some it was a choir. Okay.
okay.
In this building that is apparently like it's a dome built for acoustics, right? And we go in there and we just hear it's like 200 or 300 people
Holy
in
shit.
this choir. It's like they have all of the women separated on one side and all the men on another side, and then people in the middle, and then at
The non-binaries are in the middle.
I don't even know who was in the middle. I wasn't paying attention to that part, but there's a
The
reason
metro
for all of
stations,
this.
sex rules.
Oh my god, metro stations. So, and then they have the. I actually have a picture I can show you, and if we remember to put this in an Instagram post, we can do that. But at the bottom, they have all the people playing the instruments, like every.
So it's like a big orchestra.
Here.
There, let me see this
Yeah,
picture
go
Nick
for
is
it.
showing. So
You have all the people.
wow, yeah, it's like a big ass orchestra.
Hundreds
That's
of people,
insane.
right? And we walk in, and they just finished hitting certain notes on the song,
Mhm.
and my whole body got chills. I was like, oh, this is like
God, no, I'm just kidding.
it just, I don't know, it gave me like this overwhelming feeling. And we sit down.
It's kind of like it looks nice, but like that whole like golden brown Taj Mahal in the background kind of throws you for a loop.
Yeah, it was a little like weird at first, but the point is we sit down and they're practicing. You can just go in and sit in on their practices.
Wow.
And they just do all sorts of different songs, but they're obviously got more technical names. They hit their parts. The conductor is telling them like, you're falling flat here. He's fucking dude. He is literally conducting. He's a pro, but he was doing it like a pro. I've never seen somebody like conduct so perfectly.
Yeah.
And hit the notes and telling them exactly where they're falling flat. And then he would tell them, and hundreds of women on this side would mimic. And then he'd tell the men, you're doing this wrong, and they'd mimic. And then he's like, and you guys down here playing the violins and standing basses and everything, he's like, you're a little bit late. And then they started, and I started crying. I literally started crying. I could not help it. The coordinator that goes with us, she started crying. The photographer that was with us, she started crying. Alan was the only one that wasn't crying. He
Alan's
was
like, I guess I'm the only one with the fucking penis.
It was honestly the most beautiful sounds I've ever heard in my life. Like hands down.
It's really crazy, like how no matter like what country you hail from, or what like culture you grew up in, or what like worldview you have, there's something inherently powerful about like human choirs, about like tons of voices together in unison, like working and it hitting
and it
notes.
hits you. It really does to show like what human beings are capable of when they're all together. That you just got this over. Yeah, go ahead.
I will say it's weird because like one of like the stances, one of the lenses that I put like on all the time when I'm looking at why like human instincts work the way they do is always, I think, through like the lens of survival. Like, okay, our ancestors were hunter gatherers and they had to go through like a shit ton of stuff for thousands of years. So like a lot of our innate instincts are pounded into us through the drums of time. And so like, but there are some things that still like seem to not fit in that category, like the goosebumps you get from a human choir. Like nothing of that says, oh, this is rooted in survival. Like that's purely like recreational. That's enjoyment. That's
I feel like
something different.
I feel like I love the point that you're getting at with the whole like rooted in survival thing, because like there are certain parts where the whole fight or flight thing, like that's rooted from the very beginning.
It's literally like the direct root in survival.
And so with fight or flight, that's survival. But I think when it comes down to like the way you feel when you see hundreds of people making beautiful noises, it's almost like this not to be too like
too Disney about it.
Yeah, but it's like you recognize this beauty in the noises that you're hearing.
I don't think there's
but I guess I just didn't want to make it sound like too deep, but it's like it's almost like this inner part of you when you hear those noises. Like if me being an emotional person and the coordinator and I get along on that level, which is why we were both crying, like when I say crying, I wasn't fucking sobbing, but it
It made you like your tears
like I
well
couldn't
up.
hold it back.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I was doing one of those things where you like try to swallow the fucking the pain that's in your throat because the tears are just pushing
Yeah,
out.
they're welling
And I'm
up.
like, fuck it, I'm just gonna let it, because there's people behind me. All you hear is like everybody's crying, dude, because it was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I've never heard anything like it.
Oh
It
no,
was
that's awesome.
and they wouldn't let anybody record.
Ugh.
And I was like, you know what? These are moments where I wish I could record to show people, but I want to like
just live it.
I want to live it. I want to enjoy this. I want to feel this moment, and fuck technology. And I'll just tell
I
people
want
about
to
it.
fuck technology.
I want to fuck it. No. So fuck you. So
it's fucking 1 a.m. We are not going to hit like the same way we normally do. We're gonna it's a different type of Nick and Tub. You'll get serious, energized Nick and Tub. You'll get late night brain on glazed shit Nick and Tub, and then you'll have like our drunk podcast when we get to those, which are gonna be a fucking hot mess. And
we're gonna do those with people.
Yeah,
but we're gonna do those alone too.
Oh yeah,
and we're gonna see what the fuck. Because
it's gonna be us saying shit that doesn't make sense to anybody else, right. And then like 30 seconds of silent ass laughter followed up with from tears of laughter, and then just saying the same exact word that triggered the laughter, and then 30 more seconds of silent laughter.
Those are episodes where I look forward. Okay, so I was gonna say I look forward to listening to again, because there are times when I am listening back on our podcast that, due to the fact that I was talking and you made a slight comment that I didn't hear because we don't have headphones yet and all that different stuff. When I'm listening to it in the car, I am fucking cackling, dude. I'm in tears from the shit that you say. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why didn't I hear that before? And there are just some comments like, I know not in any fucking cocky way, but like I've made myself laugh.
Oh
like,
no, I've had myself at work cracking up when I'm talking
You're
about
like, God damn, that was funny. Like whatever you said was funny, right?
Yeah, like when I was saying something about like, oh yeah, no, your girlfriend would be you'd be getting your cheeks clapped. Like I was cracking up at myself.
That shit had me in tears. so yeah, dude, like witnessing that, like then we left and we went to this place called Whiskey something.
Whiskey Pete.
Whiskey.
I don't know.
It's a nice fucking like brewery in Utah. And so we go there.
It's called the Whiskey
Street.
Whiskey Brewery of the Latter-day Saints.
Oh, another fun fact about Utah. Their beers.
Yeah.
So depending on the brewery you go to, they will give you bottles that are normal, just bottles of beer. Like on their list, it said, we proudly serve bottles and cans that are the proper amount, like I forget the exact wording, but proper amount of alcohol, like the original amount of alcohol. Because if you get their stuff on tap, it's all watered. It's not watered down. It's not as strong.
Diluted.
It's not diluted. It just doesn't have as much alcohol in it. Same taste. Doesn't have the same. Doesn't have the same. Not the same
like alcohol percentage.
And some of them at that place, it was 3.25 on the. I think it's ABV, alcohol bottle something volume. I don't fucking know. I'll look that up too, just so I don't butcher that.
3%, like
3%.
Isn't that like a light beer?
Yeah, that's like Coors has more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you call it Coors?
Coors. Alcohol by volume.
Okay.
So that's ABV. Mm-hmm. The beers that we had,
ABV,
the Franciscana, those ones from Francisco.
Yeah, the one that we had with Francisco.
5. I think they have like 5.6 in them.
Those shits hit.
Those shits do hit. And they were really good. So, yeah, it's a weird thing that apparently they do, and it's everywhere. Like it's everywhere in Utah.
What's the weird thing exactly? Just the fact that they put the right amount of alcohol in there?
That it's a very low percentage. So 3.25 was the max on their taps.
Interesting.
And then on their bottles, some places will serve bottles that have the normal amount of alcohol. So like if they gave you to give you an example.
Yeah. If
they gave you Franziskaner, right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna fucking probably butcher that. I don't know. That German beer.
Yeah, Gesundheit.
So if they gave you that beer in a bottle, it would come with its, what is it? It doesn't matter. It's a 5.6, I think.
8% ABV.
Yeah. But if they give it to you on tap, it's 3.25.
Oh, so their tap was accurate with the bottle?
No.
Or their bottle was
The bottle is accurate.
okay.
The cans are accurate. Their tap is basically less alcohol.
Okay.
It's fucking weird because
Yeah.
it's like a rule or a law or
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, it's like a
Interesting.
law. Like that's what they do.
It's kind of whack.
Yeah, it's super fucking weird. They also another weird thing was you can't mix two of the same types of liquor in one drink
What do you
because
mean two of the same type,
my coworker,
like two different whiskeys.
yeah,
It's a law,
yeah,
like
she
one of
tried-
those like weird laws.
yeah, just like I think in some, I don't know about Utah, but in some states you can't make U-turns
At all.
at all. It's illegal. It's
You just-
illegal. You have to make lefts and rights.
You're just like you're in New Mexico and you miss your exit. You're like, fuck, I gotta go to Nevada.
But yeah, you can't make U-turns in some states.
That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I know. So we should just go through one day like all the weird fucking.
Well, there's so many weird ones, dude. Like
Yeah.
people, like that was like you'd go to a gas station on the way to like some fucking far off town, and there'd be like the crazy laws that are actually laws book that you could buy for like $5.
Yeah.
And you scroll through it, and you'd be like, oh, look, you can't have ice cream in your back pocket in Idaho. Like
Yeah, no, that's
weird shit.
real shit.
You
There's
can't
stuff
bathe
like,
in carrots.
like two different types of whiskey. Why?
I don't know.
Like why?
It's because some one dude fucked it up for everybody.
Apparently.
he drank 2 types of vodka and then died, and they were like, "Nope,
Or
we
the-
won't let it happen again."
Or the LSDs were like, no, we can't be having that.
No, we
The
don't.
JC
we,
LSDs.
the JC LSDs. No, we can't drink caffeine, but we definitely can't drink to Jim Beam and Jack Daniels. So.
Yeah, like so cool ass fucking place, wonderful food. Have you ever had poutine? Do you know what poutine is?
Sounds smelly.
It is a Canadian dish, which I believe it's French fries with
Maple
cheese
syrup.
melted on it, and then
Maple syrup.
brisket.
And then maple syrup.
I was just gonna ignore it, but you took a deep breath. He looked me dead in the eyes, and as I was like, "And brisket," and he goes, and he just
maple
held
syrup.
it. So, it's gravy. I think it's supposed to originally be. Fuck, man, it's all these.
So
different
fries,
things,
cheese, brisket, gravy.
but the brisket can be added. Poutine.
Putin. Oh wait, nope, that's the Russian leader. That's not how you spell it.
I hate you. Poutine is a dish originated from the Canadian province of Quebec.
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 French fries and cheese curds topped with brown gravy.
French fries and cheese curds.
Topped with brown gravy.
The fuck is a cheese curd?
Like
Sounds like
feta cheese is kind of like a curd. Like how it's like a squarish kind of thing.
I feel like that's one of the most disrespectful things you can call a human being. You're a fucking curd.
What about snatch?
No, we're not talking about that.
So anyway, they bring out this fucking plate. They have deviled eggs there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I've never had better deviled eggs in my life.
That seems like a Utah thing. Like, I feel like you can't really go anywhere other than like Utah to get some like smacking deviled eggs.
Oh, dude, it was fucking that shit smacked. So then they brought out the poutine, and I have never had such a tasty dish in my life
Such
because
a
they put
tasty
fucking
dish.
they put brisket on it. That shit was amazing. I had poutine, so I went to Canada.
I literally can't hear anything other than Putin every time you say it. I had Putin. I just picture that weird man's white face.
I don't like it because it reminds me of what the fuck do people call vaginas?
Punani?
Punani, like poon.
Poon.
Yeah, when they say. And so when I hear
Lather me up with some more of that Russian poon. I'm all about that poutine.
Jesus. So
They
with
couldn't
the-
have just called it something like American, like fucking like freedom fries. They
That
had
would've
to
been
call
cool.
it. They had to call it. I mean, that would make sense if it wasn't a Canadian dish. You retard, Caleb. Jesus Christ.
Did you just drop
Yeah, my bad. I
the
used
R word?
I knew that shit was gonna slip eventually.
It's fucking 1 a.m., so might as
Yep.
well start here.
Oh, dude, the drunk podcast. The drunk podcast.
Oh,
happens?
no, it's gonna be
Um,
so bad.
Ugh.
So, the first time I had poutine, it was in Canada when I went. The first time I had Putin.
Thank you. I'm sick of you pronouncing it wrong.
I'm so tired. Oh shit. Okay, so the first time I had Putin, first time I had a mouthful of Putin.
Stop We're really gonna follow up our best podcast with the worst fucking one.
Actually, I really like this one so far.
Oh my god.
Oh shit. So, oh man, I'm in tears. Fucking the first time I had that dish,
Yeah.
it was in Canada. We got through the gates.
You were in Canada when you had
yeah,
poutine for the first time?
it's a Canadian dish.
Well, yeah, I know, but I didn't know you went to Canada to have it.
I went to Canada.
Nice.
As a
You got
family,
to Quebec?
we flew- I actually went to oh Jesus, I can't remember what the fuck it was called. You had to fly into Denver.
That's
and-
not Canada.
Thank you. Fly into Denver and we drove into Canada. So we went to the right
What
side.
the fuck?
We went to the right side of Canada, not to Vancouver, which is above us, which is on the left side.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went to the right side, and I forget
The very
fucking-
far right?
We
like the
we
alt-right?
visited Niagara Falls on.
So like Toronto?
Yeah, I saw Toronto from afar.
Oh, nice.
We didn't go because
Wanderlust.
it fucking. I was so pissed. I was like, I can literally see it from across these fucking fields. We went to like a very country ridden like,
Mm.
and it, oh god, I can see it in my head. Like they have a lake out there. They have a beach too.
Mhm.
We were at a lake house and we spent like I think 4 or 5 days out there, but they also had a beach that the water you could walk out 100 feet and you'd still only be about a foot in the water.
Oh, that's fucking
Oh, it
cool.
was so sick. So my brothers and I, it was just the younger brothers, I don't want to drop names immediately. We went out there and we were like kayaking for days and we went on bike rides and
That's
just fucking
badass.
along the coast of this beach. It was so sick. So yeah, when we first got into Canada, there was the only place that we found the first place was a Denny's. And I was like, are we really fucking eating at a Denny's
Oh,
in
I
Canada?
can't wait to travel and then eat at American restaurants.
and all over the place they're like, oh, poutine fries and whatever. And I'm like,
it's the only word they said, actually.
it's
Poutine,
and so I got them and they were fucking trash. I mean,
Oh.
first of all, it's Denny's. Secondly, it was poutine at Denny's. So it's gravy from Denny's and cheese curds from Denny's.
Hey, don't be hating too much on Denny's.
I had one really good Denny's experience recently, and that was at the Sand Canyon Denny's. Dude,
I was there not too long ago.
oh,
They make some good shit.
dank.
Yeah.
It was like 2 a.m. Fucking
Dude, like for some reason I have this awful habit of
Don't touch my feet
I'm
with your
really
feet.
sorry. I just kind of wanted to tickle you a little.
Ooh.
No, but like I have this really bad habit of whenever I go to a breakfast diner, I only get chicken fried steak and eggs. Like that's all I get.
That's really weird.
And it's so fucking good.
No, I know it's super tasty, but why only that?
Because like every time I'm in that breakfast diner atmosphere, I'm just like, oh, I want some chicken fried steak and eggs. Like that's all I want. So yeah, I went in Sand Canyon and I think that's what I got when I went, but who fucking knows? I blacked out.
Oh my God.
But no, all I remember is very nice experience at that
Dude,
Denny's.
wonderful.
So as we close that tab, we got to go back to the tab of you talking about eating poutine. And then once we close that tab, you have to get back to the choir because we still never closed that tab either. So
Look at you closing tabs. Welcome back to the Nick and Tub podcast, where we're going to rename it to Closing Tabs. I like that.
all right.
All right.
Fuck Nick and Tub.
Yeah. I was going to say fuck everybody, but
Yeah, there you go.
So the poutine was fucking bomb. The food was bomb. The beer was cheap. It's all cheap. Their minimum wage out there is $7.25. So you
Peasants.
you can imagine having California money going to Utah.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
fucking rich.
Oh yeah.
I
Like,
mean-
what do you mean tax is only 4%?
You fucking peasants.
I give up half of my paycheck every day.
Oh yeah. So, really good experience there. And then the choir. I said I closed out the choir. I said it was really beautiful, and we left after one song because we had to go get food because we had a very short stay in Utah.
Yeah.
So we leave there, and then we just go back to the hotel. It was a cool Oh no, we went to the bar in the hotel and I had a shit ass beer there. If you ever hear of Hooker Blonde Ale, don't drink it. It's fucking trash. It literally tasted like piss.
Ah,
Like, I've had a few beers that taste like piss, Coors being one of them, Bud Light being another,
Coors.
Coors being one of them, Bud Light being another, Natty Ice, Natty Light. This is what it tasted like. All those mixed together with a dash of piss.
Of blonde hooker piss.
Yeah, so anyway, we wake up.
There's probably all those nice, extravagant, great beers that all had fancy European names and were probably such a nice, oaky, rich taste. And you're like, I'll have the blonde hooker. That sounds good. Yeah, that's what I want.
It's like Spanish. It's like hooker blonde. You know, you'd say it backwards in Spanish, don't you? Say
It's hooker blonde ale?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's because it's a blonde ale, not like an amber ale.
It's not a blonde hooker?
No,
Hmm.
unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it
Totally less
was
interesting beer
probably
now.
her piss, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 100% her piss.
Okay.
So
What are we fucking doing?
we wake up, have a really good breakfast, all that fun stuff. We pack up the car. We rented like a fucking Escalade, and we drove to Katherine Heigl's place. That's why when I said Miss
Is
Heigl,
she Mormon?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know.
Is it like legal to do that?
To live in Utah and
And
not be Mormon? I don't know.
Dude, Mormons like, hell yeah, I'm about to make a vague statement.
Here we go.
But like, they're always on bikes. And they have those goofy ass helmets. Do you see those shits?
The ones that you
They're
buy
like-
at Walmart
they're
for like
like-
$5.
Yeah, but they look like racer helmets.
they got
but-
like foam inside
Yes!
and plastic tops.
but a fuck ton of holes in it for no goddamn reason. You're wearing a Swiss cheese foam helmet.
Hey, dude, aerodynamic, and you got to get the airflow so you're not sweating.
When you got the fucking tie going against his fucking neck, that's not aerodynamic.
So, she has it. So it was about. I'm not going to give any locations, but it was.
Yeah, it was. If you want to leave from the Utah airport to get to Heigl's, I'll give you exact turns.
Wonderful fucking area. I'll tell you about it after. I don't want to throw it out there on this.
Yeah, please.
But
Latitude and longitude, please.
no. So we drove out there, and it's fucking gorgeous, dude. Like, just all sorts of animals out there just roaming around. The horses, pigs, fucking donkeys. We saw
Fucking donkeys.
fucking donkeys.
Horses, pigs, fucking donkeys.
Donkeys fucking.
Okay.
So
Blonde hooker
we
blonde.
pull up to her place, and I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's a long road after you open a gate, and it's just all this fucking it's beauty and surrounded by mountains,
Yeah.
and it's all just covered in snow because they had just gotten hit with snow. And we go over there, and I have pictures of it that I'll show you. It's a ranch where she has like 8 or 9 horses, like a bunch of donkeys, chickens, goats, pigs. And this place is fucking pristine. This hallway we entered, because basically, like, it's a ranch where she has like a training area for her horses.
Real quick,
Yes.
before you go any further, can you, like, I was up until coming over,
Uh-huh.
did not know who Katherine Heigl was.
Oh,
So for people who
for
just are
anybody
hearing
that
a
doesn't know
name,
who Katherine Heigl is, I believe she's in
you were right with the shit you listed for me, like Grey's Anatomy,
Grey's Anatomy.
She 27
plays-
Dresses, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Knocked Up.
I forget who she plays in Grey's. So Grey's Anatomy, she's in Suits, Knocked Up, The Ugly Truth, 27 Dresses, stuff like that. And like with most people, within this field that I'm in, being like a film crew, you are going to run into all sorts of personalities.
Mhm.
And the part that sucks about it is, like, people have opinions, and I've learned very quickly to stop listening to people's opinions, like, oh, this person's that way or this person's that way.
Until
And-
you meet them.
until you meet them.
Yeah.
And we were being warned that, like, Katherine Heigl is hard to work with. And I don't even remember who was saying it. I just remember hearing this.
Just
And-
being whispered in your ear.
yeah, it's just fucking, it was
Beware,
it was weird. She is a fucking sweetheart.
Huh.
She is so kind.
Well, that person
And
can go
she's
suck a dick.
funnier than hell. It was a bunch of people.
Oh, those people can go suck a bunch of
And
dicks.
it's like, are you sensitive? Do you think that just because maybe sometimes when she gets done working, because she's a fucking superstar, that she can just be like, I don't feel like working anymore, and she can leave? Like, is that rude? Because she has the fucking room to say that. Like, she's got so much shit to do.
Maybe you got her at, at her best environment.
Well, the
You're-
thing that I
you're at home
learned
at the
was that
ranch.
she was actually filming for a show the day before, flew back out to Utah at the ranch just for a day to film for an hour or two with us, and then fucking the next day is leaving back to go film for like 3 months. She literally showed up to film for a day.
Why do it out there?
Huh?
Like,
Why do
I'm
it out
assuming
there?
she's filming where? In LA?
Okay, so the whole premises, the whole
Yeah.
story behind this, right?
The whole point.
The whole what's premises? I don't fucking know.
Brain's not working at 1 a.m.
Same. So, the whole point of this was Cost Plus World Market is a store that we work for
Mhm.
or work with, not work for. Sorry, let me correct that. And we work with them, and they do all sorts of different stuff. And this was a commercial that they were going to do with her, or did do with her, because they. Oh,
That scared the life out of
that
me.
should not have. I don't even know where that came from.
Something in Nick's sink just fucking decided to move.
It's the cockroaches.
Okay.
So
It's the penis beetles.
What was it? Penis?
It was dick bug.
Dick bug. There we go.
Dick
Cockroach.
bug. Nope. Penis beetle. Nope. Cockroach. Okay.
All right. So they decked out one of her offices and all their different furniture, and they have a lot of cool shit. And that was it. That was all it was for. And she was just basically being like a spokesperson for the place because she really likes the company. And so we set it all up. We get all the shots that we need to get before she gets there, and then she gets there and she introduces herself, and she's just like, "Hey, I'm Katie," like very casual and just like, "Nice to meet you," shaking our hands, smiles all around, she's laughing. And then she goes and says hi to everybody else that's at the ranch that's working, or I think her family was there. I'm not sure.
It's cool though. You guys not only on first name basis, but like nickname basis.
She definitely didn't know my fucking name. I see that's
You're like, oh, Katie, hi, I'm single.
she she introduces herself that way to everybody, I guess. So we start filming, everything goes really smoothly, all the stuff that I mean, she's a fucking actress, a very famous actress, so it's like, of course, obviously she knows how to do this stuff, but she was genuinely stoked on The Office.
Mhm.
So it was really cool to just get like a genuine reaction out of her. Got all the filming done, and then yeah, I don't know, like we ate there, we got all packed up. The
You ate
place
at a ranch?
we brought food
Oh,
so that we could just
sat out on the porch
no. Okay, so there's like a break room kind of thing. It has like
in
a full on
her ranch.
yes. So
Interesting.
I'll show you pictures.
Okay.
It's fucking nuts. This ranch is basically, like I said, a training area for all the horses. And the train, you know how there's those big ass rings where the horses can run around and that was there.
That's nuts.
And this thing is like, I'm talking 5 or 6 stories high. Like
Whoa.
you snap and it echoes.
Whoa.
Oh,
I
dude.
was picturing some
Here,
like
no,
nice
I'll
little
just fucking
nice
show
little
you.
house on the
I'll show
prairie type
you-
shit.
I'll show you now, because I was just like, this is so sick, dude. Okay, this was the training.
Damn.
Yeah,
It's like a warehouse.
yeah,
it's like the size of a
fucking
warehouse.
huge. Here, that's a panoramic of it.
Whoa.
Yeah,
It's like
it's huge.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fucking
big.
huge. And she even had like a chair off to the side over here. It was like a director's chair, and it
That's
said
funny.
Miss Heigl on it. And I was
Huh.
like, that's so sick. Anyway, this was that really long hallways. I was getting, when we walked in and we set up in one of the rooms, that room had 3 stories to it, and it was just like, the first room was where they decked out all the stuff. The second one has like a kitchen and like a little dining area, and then the third story has a bed, and that's the bedroom up there.
Wow.
Yeah, and it like overlooks the entire land.
That's awesome.
So
I mean, if you're gonna build a facility, you definitely are not doing it on California land, so you
Right.
might as well go to fucking Utah.
right. So it's a really long hallway when you walk into that training area, and there's like
It
chandeliers.
looks like a hotel.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking pristine.
Have you been to that hotel in Yosemite?
Mm.
The like really old one. It's like It's old, it's wooden, it's like kind of like modeled after a cabin, but it's like very high class.
Yeah.
And it's down in like a valley of Yosemite, and you're surrounded by these like hundreds and 100-foot like stone mountains. It's really insane, and it kind of resembles that same look. And that, like, I definitely recommend, like, you go to Yosemite, check out that hotel. You
Yeah.
walk in there, and it's like pinkies up high class type stuff.
Oh, shit.
But and so like it's a tourist attraction because it's
Mhm.
so nice. But then you notice, like, you can tell which people are staying there because you can see the like
yeah, the fucking
coming off of them.
monocles and smelling their own farts.
And like, but like they have like these like big like ass doors open, like
Mhm.
that show like this like beautiful view of like, you know, like the forest and the meadow and stuff like that. And like when I was there, like squirrels would just like walk into the hotel and like sit on chairs and like
What the
walk
fuck?
around. Yeah, like I was like, cool. Like,
That's fucking cool,
so
dude.
it reminds you, like, it's nice and first world,
yeah,
but it's like it also reminds you that, hey, like, you're still in Yosemite,
yeah,
you're still in a national park.
right.
So it's a cool twist.
Yeah, like this whole thing it's the fridge making types of noises. I don't fucking know. So it like when you walked in, it obviously smells like fucking horses. But you know, like when you walk into some places that have barn animals, it just is sometimes overbearing.
Yeah.
This had like it was like a scent of it, but because the entire place is insulated and it has like air conditioning and heating, imagine heating up that building because it's fucking huge and it was actually warm and it's snowing outside.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's fucking. It was wild, but place is fantastic. We were treated very well. Like, and then we left. We dropped off some of the people we were with. We dropped off the equipment. I don't know. Oh, then we go back to the airport. And meanwhile, like I said, my boss, fantastic dude, on business trips, pays for all the dinners, pays for everything. Fucking great, dude.
He's like, hey, Nick, fill up on those cheese curds, buddy. They're on my tab.
And never flinches at it. It's just very casual about it. Treats his employees very well.
When you make fucking bank.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously makes a good living off of this kind of stuff.
I only assume because like your name is the company name.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, no, that's fair.
If the company's named after you, I'd buy my employees dinners.
No, but I mean, he, like I said, he definitely he treats everybody well, and I don't know, dude. It was a really fucking cool experience, and I constantly thank him for it, and I tell him like how grateful I am for all this stuff without being overbearing about it. But
yeah, of course. I mean, that's like literally, like, it doesn't matter how many times it happens or who you're with. Like you always gotta show some gratitude.
You would think.
Yeah, I mean, like,
some dude.
I'm just saying it as like a no. I know people don't,
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying like it's nice,
right?
When like you go out with your buddy who you've been friends with for over a decade, and you like fucking, oh dude, you forgot to get a drink, and you buy him a soda, like just being like, oh thanks man, that was really nice.
Yeah,
like the shit it's not required, but it definitely like is noticed.
Yeah,
like just, typical manners, holding the door open for people, buying their stuff. Like it's always good to show appreciation, even if they do it for you like every fucking time.
Yeah, and it's just like I just don't want those things to go like brushed under the rug, because I mean, really, if I had to pay for that stuff myself, which I wouldn't mind, obviously, like I'm getting paid to go do all these cool fucking things anyway. It's a pretty penny to even just pay by yourself, and this dude just takes care of everybody that's with us. So,
yeah, but like, I mean, eating out all the time is expensive, and that's just fast food.
Yeah,
like you go eat out nice places all the time, and you're using up your paycheck.
Right. So, with all that said, it was Wednesday UCLA, Thursday UCLA, and then Utah, and then I literally landed 4 hours ago, and here we are doing a podcast.
Yeah, drove straight home and started up the podcast because from here until Monday, that's the only moment we got right now. Is
literally right now. Like, I'll be home tomorrow after the wedding that we do, but I think I have to go to a party or something. And then Sunday we couldn't because you got to work, and I won't be home till like 12 again. It's just, it doesn't end, dude. I'm so fucking tired. Alan's fucking tired. It's just a long process. With that all being said, sorry, I didn't mean to go on such a tangent about it. I just really wanted to tell you about like the trip itself. And
No, yeah, it's cool.
since it
Like
just
it
happened.
brings to mind like I want to like once I'm in the right spot, I want to like save up money and just do weekend trips to random big cities that you don't think about going to, but always have a reputation to them and like have their own like unique characteristics and just like kind of do that. Like maybe like once I, have the right income and can save the money, like once a month, just like plan a weekend trip and go to Denver and then like see what Denver's about for 2 days.
Yeah.
And then the next time go to Seattle, see what Seattle's about. The next time go to New Orleans
Right.
or to Philadelphia or to Chicago.
Right.
Like, and just like fucking like hit like all of like the major cities in the US. And just like, it would be so cool to like every time that city is mentioned, rather than just going off of pictures that you see on the internet or what sports teams are there, you have like a personal memory attached to it.
Oh yeah,
and just to like be like, oh yeah, no, Chicago deep dish pizza is really good, and so is cheesesteak from Philadelphia.
I would be 100% on board with
Yeah,
that.
like go and get like fucking southern like crawdad or not crawdad, fucking is it crawdad? Not crawfish. I'm fucking retarded. Crawfish from like New Orleans or something like that. Like just having like to be able to experience the culture of each city and why it's special.
Right.
And just do it for a weekend. Like the, inter-country trips are pretty cheap flight-wise when you compare it to international flights.
Like
actually, if you plan them right. And so like obviously like you fly to Hawaii, you're going to get a pretty penny, but like you fly to Denver and it's not too bad. You fly to New Mexico, it's probably not too bad.
Well, that actually brings up a point that I was going to, I think I sent it. No, I didn't send it to you. The photographer that we were with, just recently, I think last month, she said, just got back from Switzerland because she's younger than me, older than you.
Very small range.
she travels everywhere.
Wow.
And so Switzerland was just one of the places that she went. There's an Instagram, if anybody's interested, they can go look. It looks like spam, but she said it's not. It's just they post up all the flight deals when they come up. It's like secret flights, I think is what it's called. And
let me follow that right now.
Let me show you. Just to give you an example,
I'm trying to disappear sometimes,
She secret flying. That's what the Instagram's called. Secret flying.
I'm sorry.
From Frankfurt, Germany to Havana, Cuba, for 190 euros. So it's like,
wow,
what, 200 something?
Yeah.
She got
Los Angeles to UK, $425 round trip. What?
Yeah.
That shit's like $1,100.
Yeah.
$425. Okay, but it says nonstop from Los Angeles to London, UK for only $425 lounge. Oh, it says link in bio. Okay, so you have to go to their website.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they post it all up there, like from China to Canada for $451.
What the fuck?
So point that I'm getting at, she was in, I think, Switzerland.
New York to Spain, $234. I'm gonna get off this Instagram because I will keep going.
So she took a flight from one place to another. I don't remember the places.
That's how flights work.
I don't want to butcher them. For $11.
Oh yeah, no. If you're going from like places within Europe, like you can fly like I think it's called Ryanair, and it's like it's the domestic flights over there. It's fucking insane. Like
$11.
You can go there, just get a one like person round trip ticket with low baggage, and you can fly to places for like $7 or $20 or like, oh, you're in London and you want to see Italy. Pop right in, $30. Let's go.
I could be butchered. It's either 7 or 11, but yeah, no more than $11.
It's fucking crazy.
Nuts.
Because how I found this out was, when I was going to COC, I wanted to do their foreign exchange student or not, studying abroad.
Yeah.
And their destination was Rome. And I was like, oh my fucking God, I would fucking kill to go. And so like looking at it and realizing it's like several grand. And I was like, I don't have that money and I'm not gonna put myself through anything to get that money.
Right.
So I was like, "Mm." But the guy was like, yeah, no, like the students usually go and stay there for that month. And they usually plan to stay for another month because then they spend the rest of the like extra month that they plan for
Yeah.
traveling around Europe. And they were like, and you can travel for cheap. And he's like, go. He's like, I won't even tell you prices. Just go look up Ryanair and just pop in some famous spots in Europe and get flights and see what they charge.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. There was legit like the most expensive shit hit $100, and it was like
That's so
from
nuts.
like the farthest points of Europe to each
Right.
other. And it's like, oh, you want to go from Paris to the UK? It's like $20
Yeah.
for a flight. For a flight.
It doesn't even make
You
sense.
probably burned so much more in fucking jet fuel on that plane.
Yeah, that's what doesn't make sense to me, because it's like how it like you can't even get from here to LA off of $11 of gas.
But you also have to think, if you packed like 50 people in one car and made them all pay $20, then it probably would cover expenses.
Yeah.
And then they hit you. How they get you is like late fees, not planning ahead, baggage.
Yeah.
Like that's where it starts tacking up and it starts looking like a regular plane cost is in those like after you buy the ticket costs.
Right.
But if you play it smart, you get there ahead of time,
Yeah.
check in right, only have like one bag on you. Dude,
Just backpacking through Europe.
it's dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And it's only getting there that costs a lot. Dude, oh my fucking God. My dad has a friend who I see very rarely, like once every 2 years maybe. Because this dude lived that adventurous life that you like hear stories about, like folklore about like, oh yeah, no, I just like, you know, my parents didn't love me, and so I just like took my backpack and the clothes on my back and just fucking went wherever the wind took me, type thing. And he's like, I learned like how to survive off the land by like eating plants and figuring out which ones were good and which ones weren't. I would work on people's farms for money and a place to stay and a meal in my belly, and I'd go on. He was like, yeah, like I would teach myself how to tie knots and how to work on a boat so I could catch like boats to different countries.
Yeah.
He talks about how like he would just hitchhike all the time, and the only thing he had to defend himself was a harpoon gun. Like he was mugged, he was like robbed, he just had all this shit. And he was like, yeah, no, you can go to Thailand, and the most expensive thing is getting there. You go to Thailand and you want to like fill up on a good meal, it's like $3.
Yeah.
And then a place to stay is like $15.
It's insane.
It's so crazy. Like the dollar is so powerful.
Right.
And this dude's talking about how like, he's like, yeah, there was one time we were somewhere in the Pacific and I was on a boat. I don't know how I got there. I just was, you know, finding a way there. And we were woken up in the middle of the night because we were passing this erupting volcano, and it was like lighting up the night sky orange, and there was like thunder and lightning coming from the smoke coming from the volcano. And we just like stood out on the top of the boat and just watched it. Like, and
that's so sick.
It's just, he has adventures. Like he'd hitchhike throughout Europe. He would sleep on the beaches of like Costa Rica or wherever he wanted to go.
But that's just somebody that has no ties.
Yeah, he has no family, no friends. And now he obviously does have friends and family. Like, well, he just did it right out of high school.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, you know, I'm gone.
He's in front of your dad, so he's been doing it for a long time.
And he actually, no, it wasn't right out of high school. He did it through Long Beach University. He went to Cal State Long Beach, and he found, like, he read like all like the terms and agreements that nobody ever reads. He read it, and he found loopholes of ways that they would like basically cover his schooling if he were to go do certain like classes or certain like things that they had. And so he would go to Africa and like learn how to like translate the Bible from like English or Greek to like a random ass African language.
Right.
And it was like super hard to do. Nothing that nobody would ever want to do, because it was like learning that like obscure language that barely any people spoke.
Yeah.
And then translating like Greek to that. Like it was just like a hard ass job, but he got to travel to Africa to do it. And so he would use that. And he like basically got like a bunch of degrees being able to and getting it all paid for because he found all these loopholes. And Long Beach State like changed their like terms and agreements because of him, because he like broke the system. And once he got all his shit, and he did all his traveling and everything. He went to Japan, where he's at now, and lives on like a nice house, like in the view of Mount Fuji, and goes to one of the major cities. I think it's Tokyo, and teaches English.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he learned Japanese, teaches English, makes money, and like bargains
What
with the locals, gets his food. Like
a cool life.
it's literally fucking insane. And you just sit there and you go, you know, if I didn't have people I loved, like I would go do exactly that.
Yeah. Damn. Fuck. I don't know. Because with these 3 days of traveling and being away from home, it's just 3 days, but like, and obviously I'm working,
Yeah,
and it's a lot of like nonstop because we have to keep going and having conversations and linking up with people and all that different shit. I'm so tired,
Mm-hmm.
and I just couldn't imagine doing that as a lifestyle. I'm
Well,
not. I'm not. By no means
that-
am I a homebody.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like being home. I really do like lazy days, but I couldn't do this shit every day.
No, well, yeah, of course not. I mean, in that guy's situation, he's doing whatever the fuck he wants every day,
Right.
and like just
And that's different.
like yeah, just like prop up his like surfboard and
Yeah.
sleep on the beach, and then
Right.
surf, and then go do whatever the fuck he wants. Like that's literally just like being a hermit.
Yeah.
And oh, it's cool. You can play footsies with my shin now.
God damn it. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, no, that's like the dream life that everyone wants to do, but no one will do, and so they just sit and dream about it. That's all it ever is.
That's so that kind of brings up a point that I was going to say earlier. After this trip and after like seeing Katherine Heigl's ranch, I'm like, that drives me to want to do so much more than what I'm already doing, and I'm already tired. I'm already very exhausted, and I'm wearing myself thin to the point where like I have 3 days coming up where I have off, and I'm filling those fucking days with stuff that I can do. Like I'm hitting people up. I'm like, hey, do you want to take these photos? Do you want to fucking come over? I can teach you some editing stuff, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm thinking like, okay, but I can also like update my website, and I can start, maybe putting my workout on the Knot, which is a wedding thing that gets you more. Yeah, it's community, gets you more business, and like start investing more in myself, because I'm just like, I make decent money. I don't want to keep making decent money. I want to make really fucking good
big
money.
bucks. Yeah,
I want to make dude. My boss knows somebody who does billboard shoots for companies, and he has 5 billboards, I believe, if I'm saying this correctly, 5 billboards in a row on Sunset with his photos, and he doesn't do any job for $50,000, like less than that. He charges 50,000 and up. This guy claimed $1 million last year off of photography. Off of fucking photography, taking photos. Now, granted, I'm not saying it's easy, but
no, that's
fucking mean.
That's the cream of the crop right there.
Yeah, but like, excuse me, $50,000 for a fucking photo? Sign me up.
Yeah, because that's like real estate money. That's like
sign me the fuck up. Oh my god, dude!
Like that, because that's one of those things. Like, if you really wanted to,
Yeah,
I could work 2 weeks and then not work till next year. Like,
yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
this is the kind of stuff that I was trying to tell you with like the wedding industry, and why I try to get people into it all the time is because like, if you get good at this stuff, let's see, I charge for an 8-hour wedding, with a bunch of fucking photos edited, and I take control. I have all the different shit, and if anybody's listening and they think that the prices are like, oh my god, how could you? Right now, and I may be adjusting my prices. I don't know. It just depends. But it's $1,800 for an 8-hour day, right?
That doesn't strike me as unusual.
No. In fact, it should be unusual because it's low.
Yeah,
I literally know people who charge like $6,500 for like 6 hours, and I'm like, excuse me.
Hi, my name is blank, and I make $1,000 an hour. What the fuck do you do?
Yeah. So what I was getting at is, if I got 2 weddings a month, I'd be set. Let's wrap it up to 2,000. So that's $4,000 That's $1,000 a week.
Wow. Yeah.
I'd make $52,000 a year.
Yeah.
For working.
And then California would be
twice.
like, oh, let me take $42,000 of that.
Right. So, I mean, obviously you save to the side. So really I'd only be making like somewhere around like 38 or something, but
Yeah.
$38,000 for working 2 days a month.
No. Working, you said a wedding every week, right?
No.
No.
I
Two
said
weddings a month?
2 weddings a month.
Oh, shit. Yeah, no. That's
2 days a week.
Whoa.
With 2 to 3 days of editing.
Whoa.
So a total of
10 days.
Let's call it 10 days. I work 10 days a month. And all the other time, I do other stuff.
I do whatever the fuck I want.
We'll call it 3 days, right? So that's 6,000 a month. So that's fucking 6 times 72,000.
Yeah.
And we'll call it 50,000 for California taxes.
Mm-hmm.
I work 3 days a month, and if I get really good at editing, we'll call it again 10 days. I work 10 days a month, and dude, the wedding business, and this is just wedding business, and that's low end.
Yeah, and that's one stream of income.
Right.
You find ways to get multiple,
dude. Yeah,
and you're
that's why I try to tell people,
people
like, look, like there's so much. My favorite thing that I came up with is there's so much fucking money out there. All you have to do is go find a way to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Like literally,
it's just sitting there waiting for a pocket to sit in.
yeah. Like Katherine Heigl's makeup artist was there today. She's kind of cute. And she, like, I didn't introduce myself. She didn't introduce herself. It just wasn't part of like there. Okay. On
There's
sets
boundaries when
yes.
when it's business. Yeah. Of
like
course.
for example,
you don't like lean on the side and just hey.
Yeah. Some people were taking pictures with Katie, but I didn't want to like bring out my phone and film like the fact that, you know, oh look, Katherine Heigl's sitting right here. It's like I feel like that's rude.
Well, yeah, because like at the end of the day, celebrities are just regular ass people,
right? And they just want to be treated that way. And the people that got photos were like one of the people like in charge of it, and then the photographer that we were working with. It was like a really cool shot that they got of them just talking, and it was actually like a genuine conversation. So
it was candid.
Yeah. Well, it was like a planned, candid thing. Like, can you take a picture of us talking? But their conversation was actually genuine.
Yeah.
So
as a planted.
Right. So the planted. That's funny. So what I am getting at is like, not that I wanted to start this podcast for money. Honestly, didn't. Like, this is just really fun to do.
If we were doing this for money, I think you would be able to tell that we were doing this for money, because we would be like, hey, if you guys know anyone that would want to do ads, we're like feeding for some.
Like I want to make this as natural as possible and see if people come later on. But like, this is just a part of like having a drive to do different things.
Yeah, this is just like a passion,
right?
A pastime,
right? And so,
and that's the kind of like the law of the land when it comes to like at least the country that we live in is you work a regular job and then you find something you're passionate about and you work on that until that replaces your regular job. Like that's like the hypothesis.
I've seen so many fucking people give up on it, and it's like it sucks to see that, because if you just tried a little bit harder and waited a little bit longer,
it's that fucking corny ass, and I hate that I'm even quoting this shit, but it's that corny ass picture of that dude who's like mining straight, like from left to right, just like going through dirt, and then he, like, you see him like he stopped his tunnel and he's like walking back all sad with his pickaxe on his shoulder, and like he was like a foot away from like this big ass thing of diamonds,
right?
And then right above him is some dude just going ham, like super fast, about to hit it.
Yeah.
And it's like you never realize how close you are to striking gold, basically.
Yeah.
If you just were to keep going.
It's not even that corny though, honestly.
Yeah, but it's corny because it's like this like little cartoon.
Drawn.
It's just this cartoon that like you would see on like a baby boomer's Facebook page.
Okay.
It's like, oh, you whippersnappers don't know nothing about hard work.
Right. That, and just like, don't give up on your dreams, even though I gave up on mine. Like,
yeah.
I don't like seeing it, because like for me, I've mentioned to you multiple times that and not discrediting my work and not discrediting like the work that I put in and like the outcomes of my work, like with my photography. I like my photography. I like my video work. I like the stuff that I do. But a big factor of like where I'm at now has to do with what I see as luck. And
well, yeah, no, I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we got lucky enough to be fucking born in the place that we are and
Right.
the day and age that we
Right.
are to even do what we're doing
And
now.
I'm grateful for it. I just
Hell
think
yeah.
that like luck plays a big part in what I do. And what I mean by that is like the first job that I got working for uh, one woman that I won't mention her name. My family told me bring out your camera. I was at a wedding. She was a wedding photographer, and I was like, no, that's corny. And I ended up bringing out my camera, and she just happened to see it. And she's like, hey, you shoot? And I was like, I literally just started. And she's like, do you want to, be my second shooter at my weddings? And I'm like, huh? Like, first of all,
well, that's kind of an example of like creating your own luck.
yeah,
Because yeah, you got lucky, but you were kind of in control of whether or not you put yourself out there to get lucky.
true. And that's why I said like there's certain extents like I don't write off the things that I do, but the things that I am given, like every job that I've had has been because I've known somebody.
Same.
Every job.
Same.
Actually, except for I take that back, except for one in Washington. But that was just because I was applying to fucking everywhere in Washington. Washington is easier to get a job.
You
but
shoot enough in the dark and you hit the target.
Exactly. So then through that woman, I met another chick who ended up connecting me to Alan. Just because I randomly worked with her at a wedding and she liked the way that I worked, and she was just like, hey, I like your attitude. I'm not going to be working with Alan, so you should email him. And I emailed him, and this is again with luck. Like he emailed me within a week, and then I didn't hear from him for 3 months. And then he randomly hit me back up and he's like, hey, I'm so sorry. My emails were being automatically read. There was a glitch. I'd like to meet up if you're down. And so I did. And then I went over to his house. We had beers. We like just met each other and explained like who we are. And he ended up hiring me for a few gigs for like 8 months to a year. And then now he hired me full time. And it's like all of that. What I
You
always
string it all back to the day you brought that camera
I
out at a
brought
wedding.
out a camera at a wedding and I filmed Katherine Heigl today.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
It's nuts.
Holy shit.
And that's why I try to tell people, dude, like if you have something you're passionate about, keep pursuing it, even if it's not the outcome that you get right away. Instant gratification is a really terrible fucking thing.
It's a habit that's formed in people's heads.
And it's not even this generation, it's the time that we're in now.
Yeah, because it affects the people older than us too.
Right.
They don't even want to admit it though.
The second that you need information, you open up your phone.
You open up your massive mobile wireless supercomputer.
It's literally a supercomputer in the palm of your hand that we get upset about when it doesn't work after 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, motherfucker, it is shooting up to a satellite, getting information and shooting it back down. If it needs a couple more seconds, relax.
Yeah. I remember when I ain't back in the old days, but like when you had like those fucking bulky ass desktops and anything to load, you had to sit there and wait for it to buffer, like everything. And you were patient. It wasn't a problem. Like if you wanted to pull up an image, like you remember like the image would like slowly like layer by layer show itself from like top down.
Yeah.
And you were like, hey guys, look at this. And it's like
Joe Rogan was talking about how that's how they used to watch porn.
Oh my fucking
like
God.
Porn would load that slow. Which it was just mostly images.
I'm pretty sure porn has been brought up on every one of our episodes.
Hello, everybody. This is the Porncast.
The Porncast.
So,
how many like viewers do you think we need for Mia Khalifa to go on?
For what?
For Mia Khalifa to?
She already follows you on Twitter.
No, that's what I'm getting at. Like, what kind of like clout game do you think we need to get my Twitter buddy to be a guest?
Literally, just message her.
All right.
And just be like, hey, I don't know if you're interested. Here, listen to episode 1 and 2. And if you like them, we'd like to have you on. If Mia Khalifa,
dude, that'd be dope,
was one of our like more
guests.
recent guests, like, yes, as a guest, but I'm talking like in the near future rather than the far future. You know how fucking insanely funny that would be.
Oh my God.
Just like Mia Khalifa has been following Caleb since he was 18. Right? 18?
Yep.
Yeah.
18.
And now you're 21.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's like, and now she's a guest on the podcast. It's just,
it would be
funny.
It would be fucking
It'd
dope.
be super funny.
It would be like, oh yeah, like
you know what would be
like
really annoying?
Meet our guest Jordan Santino. Meet our guest Joel Bond. Meet our guest Francisco Rivera. Meet our guest Mia Khalifa. People are like,
it would be really fucking funny. Or no, not really funny. It'd be really annoying when she's a guest. And what I mean by that is we would talk to her as a human being
Of course.
about her profession.
Yeah.
Everybody else would be like, "Oh, you guys got to meet Mia Khalifa. What does that mean?" They'd start entailing all sorts of things.
I mean,
she
people,
does porn. That must mean you guys fuck.
Well, she
It's
doesn't
like,
even do
no.
porn anymore. She's
Really?
she's retired from that shit.
Oh,
Has
no
been
shit.
for a while, and
I know
she's into like
she's-
sports analytics now.
Oh.
Yeah, no, she's like a big Washington D.C. fan, so
And
she
that's
loves
gotta
like
also
the
suck for her
Nationals, the Red Wings, and stuff like
because
that.
people probably only look at her as a porn star.
She has 1 million followers, and how many of those do you think follow her for sports?
Literally none. How many of them follow her because while she's talking about sports, her boobs are there?
No, yeah, no, she definitely takes advantage of it. Like she
Yeah.
still sells calendars and shit.
No, of
But
course.
like I would too.
Didn't she just get proposed to?
Yeah,
Isn't that what I saw?
yeah, she just got engaged.
Yeah.
And so like yeah, that's the thing. Like I from what I've heard, and I'm going off of he said she said, but from what I've heard, she actually regrets her past profession.
No shit.
So like I totally assume that every single interview she's ever done has entailed that. So like I don't give a fuck if
And this is
you know.
why, like, what the hell he said she said thing, like, it's perfect not only to have a podcast, but it would just be cool to like this. I like talking to people,
Yeah, exactly.
but the podcast is perfect because now it's that person saying something written in stone because it's literally here. Like we'll have it as a digital, like
Yeah.
as proof.
Yeah.
Like nothing's gonna change. It's
Yeah,
not
so
the
there will
fucking
be no-
Mandela,
yeah,
not Mandela effect.
Yeah,
where things change.
Mandela effect.
Mandela.
Coors.
Eat my dick.
But yeah, no, like it would be fucking cool. And like I would literally just want to talk about how the fuck we became like following, like how we became
Yeah.
following each other over
Yeah.
like some stupid SpongeBob meme.
I would just So I mean, if she
But
ever hears this for
that's-
any reason, that'd be really cool to have. Her
Yeah,
on.
oh, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Like she lives in Florida though, so it would either be like
A trip
she's
for us.
occasion. It would be a trip for us, or it would be somehow she's out in LA. But
which
is
could
probably
happen,
not
yeah.
a big deal. Like,
Yeah.
but like I said, traveling to cool ass cities,
Yeah.
it would just be a part of that.
And now we got cheap flights.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's all lined up.
All right.
But it's every time we tweet each other,
Uh-huh.
my mentions are filled with fucking creeps all the
I
time.
would imagine so.
Like I remember one time she tweeted like something along the lines of, "Oh, like follow me on Instagram at like the real Mia Khalifa," and I was like, "Oh, what happened? Was Mia Khalifa taken already or whatever?" And she was like, "Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure like ISIS got that one before I did."
Oh, no.
and like I'm cracking up because like it's a good joke, whether or not it's a joke or not, and. Then I get like, "Hey, beautiful!" Like in my mentions, like hey, like let me see them tits, like dick pic, like, and I'm like, every single interaction you do about anything has this horde of just horn dogs on you all the time.
That's gonna be really fucking annoying and
And
upsetting.
I'm pretty sure all of her notifications that are from people that don't follow her are turned off. I'm pretty sure she only gets notifications from people who she follows.
Good. She
Be-
probably
yeah.
should do that.
Yeah, because like that's what I would do if I had like hundreds.
if I was
if I had a
verified-
million followers, like I would turn all notifications off other than the
You
people
know about
that
the
I
whole
follow.
verified thing too, right? Like if you're
Uh,
verified, that you can make it so that you only see other verified accounts.
Yeah. I
thought that was
actually
cool.
didn't know about that, but I kind of assumed
Yeah.
that was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Again,
like
from what I heard.
yeah, and so like I was just it's just crazy. Like the last time that she tweeted me, like there's still fucking weirdos, like literally like hey toots, like do you really think that that's how you're gonna pull
Toots.
Mia Khalifa?
Hey, tuts.
Like do you think that's how you're gonna pull like a celebrity who, yeah, like oh, how'd you guys meet? Well, I commented under her engagement picture and I said, show me your boobs, and she DM'd me, and from there it was set in stone. We fell in love.
Oh my god.
Show me them titties, bitch. Yeah, like
And now,
What do you
we're
think-
best friends.
like what in what world does a woman see that and goes, oh, what a man?
Dude, I don't fucking like. We have a mutual friend who I won't throw out there, who gets hit up, and like I don't want to bring up a super touchy subject for people listening, but like there are people that are talking to her like, "I'll rape you," and it's like, hey,
Go to jail.
like,
Do not collect
literally
$300. Do not
slit your
pass
fucking
go.
throat open.
Yeah.
You're weird as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like she posts up a selfie, and it's like, "I'm gonna fuck you," and it's like, huh? What are you Where in your brain? Where?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, I don't care what fucking country you're from, what third world fucking weird thought process you have of women are just objects and we can do whatever we
It's
want
just something
and
I can
say,
pick up off the shelf.
and women, like, what, who was telling, was it somebody on our podcast said something about Japanese culture, like women don't, there's a whole thing about if a woman tells you no in Japanese culture, that it actually is more of an open door to keep trying.
Oh, that wasn't on the podcast. That's for
Okay,
sure.
I recently heard it somewhere, and I was like, first of all, don't know if that's true. Don't remember who told me. So, but
That's
if it
totally
is
up in
true,
the air.
if it is true, that's not right.
Yeah,
Like,
no. Well, of course not. I mean,
and
like,
when I say no, I mean like ask her out on a date and she says no, and then again you're supposed to try because they're playing hard to get, but that's part of the culture.
well, if
And
that's
I'm
part
like,
of the culture, then
if,
it's
big
fucked
fat
up.
if.
Yeah, but like if like a woman plays into that, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's a part of the culture, and she's aware, and she really likes the guy, and she says no because it's expected as tradition for you to continue trying just to show that you like really want it.
Yeah.
Then it's a game of cat and mouse. But like girls do that now, but it's obvious. That's the thing. You have to be like dumb as a rock to not be able to catch the cues that a girl throws you. Like if you DM her 5 times in a row over the course of a month, hey bro, she doesn't want to fucking fuck you.
Yeah. Like,
but if you message a girl and you compliment her or whatever, and she's like, nice try, but you'll never get this, in a wink face, that's
different.
not a no quite. That's a let's see if you can keep up.
Right.
And then you continue going. But like, it's fucking obvious.
Yeah. Well, you would think so, but like,
no, it is. And people are stupid. Like, that's the thing. It's obvious and they have to be oblivious. That's because.
No, I'm agreeing.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing. I'm wholeheartedly agreeing. all I was saying is that some people, like the Big Bang Theory, Sheldon doesn't recognize sarcasm. It doesn't. That's the point of his character. He doesn't see it. So it's like some people may have social cues that are fucking off the charts wrong.
Yeah, and I get that, but like another part of me, it also considers the fact that like these guys who like catcall, basically, whether it be virtually or in person, like, because it's essentially what they're doing.
Type of people, you mean?
Yeah, no, like these noble knights who just walk the street as priests. But these men, these children of God,
as these Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints,
the LSDs. But yeah, these people that catcall, I genuinely believe that they actually do it not expecting to come out successful. Like, I don't think that they catcall because they think that they're just going to like pull that chick on the spot. Because I've seen videos where like people do social experiments on YouTube where a girl will be walking out in public in a skimpy outfit and a guy will be like, hey baby, where you going? And she turns around, walks straight up to his face and going, nowhere. Where do you want to go? Like, let's go. And the guy goes, whoa, chill out. Like, and he starts stuttering over his words. He's back up. Like, I don't know. And she's like, no, come on, let's go. What do you want to do? And the guy's like, get the fuck away from me, bitch. Like, isn't that what you wanted? You fucking creep. Yeah. Isn't that exactly what you wanted? Yeah. And like this girl did like repeated this over and over. And guys were like, whoa, bitch, why are you getting in my personal space? And it's like, didn't you just play that in your head so differently?
That's so weird. That's so fucking weird.
Didn't you want this girl to basically just drop her clothes and fuck you on the spot? But if a girl did that, you'd be like, oh, whoa, no.
Oh, you're a freak.
I'm a man of class, you whore. Leave me alone.
Instantly turns it around.
Yeah, and it's like you wonder, like, do you actually mean this shit, or are you doing it for some other twisted, fucked up reason?
Right. I mean, that kind of brings, and I'm gonna get back to the passion thing, because I fucking went off on a crazy ass tangent.
Yeah.
Speaking of porn, follow your passion. So there was something that was in a show called Blue Mountain State, and
Blue Mountain State.
I love Blue Mountain State, and
I have very little exposure to it, but from
the
what I've
super
had.
wimpy dude in the show, I forget his fucking name, but a big ass dude, like 3 times his size, wants to beat his ass. And he gets up and he's like, you want a fucking piece of this? And he takes off his shirt. I think he gets naked. And then the guy's like, whoa, what the fuck? All right, fucking, you're weird as shit. It's like, if you go to an extreme, right?
It totally
Like,
throws them off.
I'm a fucking a twig, right? I'm a $1.55, $1.58 on a good day, and
Buck 58 soaking wet.
so, and I'm 6'2". I probably could hold my own, but if a dude that's like 6'5", 250 comes up to me and he's like, "I'm gonna beat your fucking ass," I'm a while out. I'm gonna go, you wanna beat my fucking ass? I'm gonna get
Yeah,
naked.
daddy, you gonna beat this ass, daddy? Come beat this ass. And you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna walk away.
So that's exactly it, dude. I was gonna say, but I didn't want you to get like too thrown off because I mean it is kind of fucking late, but I didn't want it to be like, oh, you want to beat my ass? I'll suck your fucking dick. Let me cradle those fucking balls like
Give me that shit. You will win every fight.
You want this fucking reach around?
No, but like for real, like nobody wants to fight anybody who's naked.
No,
like you
naked
like,
or trying to
like
grab
somebody,
your dick.
yeah, somebody tries fighting you. You just strip down to bare fucking nothing and socks. They're gonna be like, "Get the fuck away from me!" Just swinging shit in their face. Like no one's fighting you.
You get completely naked. And you're wearing socks and a cock sock, and that's it. You just
just run. I'll take it off. I swear to God, I'll do it. But can you imagine like the worst case scenario? You get completely naked and then you get knocked out, and you're just fucking out cold, butt ass naked on a McDonald's floor. Like,
why are we at McDonald's?
You wake up in handcuffs. Like,
why are we at McDonald's?
Because that's where it would happen if we're
okay.
being real.
So speaking of being naked, follow your passion. No, but I mean, I want to just get back to that because like that was a point that I just wanted to get to that I didn't finish on was like, if you don't have a passion, like if you have a passion to follow through with it, and I'm not doing the whole like the American dream fucking thing because that doesn't it doesn't exist for everybody. There are just some people it doesn't exist for.
Yeah,
but there's no point in not trying to go for it. So it's like if you want to pursue something in art, don't give up because of the fact that people tell you that it's not easy. Like, of course it's not easy. Nothing's really easy.
Yeah, and like just from doing this, like this is like my first real like swing at a creative project. The reason I never did anything before, and the reason that this is so fucking different is how my mind categorizes it. So like, and it's gonna sound corny, but I'm trying to like explain it in a way that is kind of a different way of getting at it rather than just the typical corny road that you can go down. But I didn't go into this podcast with the mentality that we're going to try this. We're going to see how it goes. It's we're going to do this. This is going to be what we do.
Yeah.
And the idea of trying something is like you're going to go and do a trial for like a couple weeks, and then you're going to stop and ponder of how you like it and whether or not you want to keep going.
Yeah.
But the idea of trying always makes it sound like there's going to be a point where you stop.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, it's a sample, it's a taste, it's just a little bit, you're just trying. And so never did I once think that I was going to try podcasting. I was going to start podcasting. Like that's just, I was going to do it.
Yeah.
And now I realize through doing this that if I'm going to do anything else, like if I'm going to do anything that has to do with creativity or me like expressing myself as an individual rather than just going corporate, I'm going to do it.
Right.
I'm not going to try it. And that's the thing. Like the corny way of saying it is like, you don't try, you only do.
Yeah.
But like that is 100% the truth because
it's not corny. That's Yoda, dude.
Yeah. It's literally Yoda. And like, and the difference between the two is how you categorize it in your head, like how you literally see it when you're doing it. Because I view this as like top priority. If I'm doing something, if I have other stuff, this takes priority unless it's emergency or like literally I'll lose my job.
Yeah.
Like there's obviously a pyramid to it, but like this takes top priority over anything recreational.
It makes me happy to hear that just due to the fact that like, I don't know, we might have mentioned it on an episode before, but like I've never done a creative project with anybody.
Yeah.
And so like obviously going into that it's nerve-wracking, but
yeah, because it
seeing how
relies
like
on another person.
seeing how fucking head on you're taking it is obviously really nice. And on top of that, we're really close friends. So like I trust you. I've trusted you
Of
from the
course, of
beginning,
course.
but it's just like, I mean, it's 2 a.m. now and
Yeah.
we're still going and
And
it's still going strong. And it's
exactly.
like,
And like I treat it with the seriousness of a job and the enjoyment of a hobby.
good.
And like it like that's why like and you were like, okay, if we want to continue our schedule, we want to release on Monday
Yeah.
and like keep being consistent. The only window of time you have to do this podcast with me is midnight on Friday.
Yeah.
And technically Saturday.
Saturday, right?
And I'm like not even hesitant. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Good. And that's all I ask.
Mhm.
Like,
and we could be dead tired.
and be here to set up with me.
Oh yeah, I know.
I know.
I know.
It's fine.
But
tonight was a little bit different because I told Caleb that I was gonna be here at 11:40 and got into some really nasty traffic on the way home, which I'm not gonna bring up what was there.
yeah, it was like 11:40, then
Just
11:30,
worst
then
traffic for worst reason.
yeah,
But
midnight.
and then it was like, you're not gonna be home till 12:25, and I'm like, that means we're not gonna start until almost 1.
Yeah.
And then I got here at 12. We set up. We started. It's all
Mhm.
good. Everything's working out. But
I
it's-
spent a cool minute looking for my keys, like
Yeah.
just at my house, just like, okay, I check the 6 regular spots that they're at, and they're not there, and then it goes into full blown like bloodhounds trying to
Right.
find my fucking keys.
right.
And so it was like perfect timing.
But I'm glad that we're doing this. And like I said, I want to stress to people. I stress it daily. Like we have a mutual friend who just recently picked up photography, and she's hitting me up asking me like, can you give me tips, tricks? Can you tell me what's wrong with this photo? What can I do to improve? And it's like, good. Keep doing that. If that's what needs to happen, whenever I have the spare time, and I always tell people, I'll text them and be like, hey, I'll get back to this when I can. But otherwise, just keep going. Don't
Yeah.
look for anybody's approval. Just keep going.
And like you have to treat it with the idea that like you're gonna lose money or you're gonna get fired
Yeah.
if you don't do it. And
Yeah.
like it helps. Like I'll be honest, like it helps having another person to hold you accountable. Just kind of like the whole idea of like a gym buddy. Like
Yeah.
the days you don't want to go,
Right.
they're making you go, and
Right.
vice versa. But like knowing that like if I don't do it, like I can't do the podcast today, I'm letting someone else down, you being that person.
Right.
Whereas if I was doing a podcast by myself and I couldn't do
You
it that
could
day,
start
I'd just
making- and
be
that-
like, I mean, I could do it another day.
So seeing as like, again, this is your first project and you're doing it as a duo,
Mhm.
when you're on your own, and I know a few people that can vouch for this, but when you're on your own, it's so easy to make excuses.
Dude, I know. Like just with stuff like gym habits and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
granted,
yeah, it's not even creative. You can go with that with anything.
yeah, and granted, like for me, like I literally ran out of time. And
Yeah.
I've been dying to start that habit again. But
No, there are some things that,
yeah, like
unfortunately
you only
get
have so much.
sacrificed.
Yeah, exactly. But like I knew, but when I do have time to do stuff,
Yeah.
like you totally have the option not to, and it's the easiest option.
Oh yeah, you could literally like spend an hour just sitting where you're sitting and realize, oh shit, I could have spent that hour doing things. So that's where like I
Cleaning,
chuck my phone and I
hygiene.
just start finding something to do.
Mm-hmm.
There was a point that I was gonna make with the whole passion thing, and I don't know. I know I keep stressing the point of it. It's just, again, it just makes me fucking sad, dude. I've seen people quit. I've seen people that are just like, I just decided to take a regular job. And it's just like, that's fine. That's cool. But not only is there you made the point of being happy with what you're doing. Like, if you're not happy with what you're doing, then find a way to change it.
Yeah.
There are multiple ways to change it. When people are like, oh, this is end all be all, it's like, I understand how it can feel that way. You can apply that to your work. You can apply that to your relationships. You can apply that to literally anything. And we can go on tangents about that shit. But when it comes down to like your happiness, like why would you sacrifice your happiness for safety?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. And like, and especially
and when I say safety, I mean like a safety bubble of oh, this day job's
of
going to pay me that.
comfortability.
Right.
Yeah. And it's just like, especially when the thing that you're passionate about doesn't have to start off as like a 40 hours a week thing that you have to
No.
invest in. Like if it's something that you can do like on the side, then like why the fuck aren't you doing it?
Yeah, it's
And-
like you can take, okay, so with that stuff, again, I'll just use my photography as an example, and I can go about the ups and downs with it too in a short burst. With photography, when I first started, it was just for fun. And I think one of the very first photos I posted was of our friend Shelby. I think it was October of 2016. And I was just taking photos of people. It was just a good time. Go on hikes, take photos, do whatever, get my practice in, practice editing, all that stuff. And then eventually it just turned into, like I said, working for that woman where it was doing weddings.
Yeah.
My first ever wedding
Which is
with
solid
her.
ass experience.
Yeah. The first ever wedding with her was 2 back to back. It was a Saturday, Sunday thing. I was fucking exhausted. I never knew what that kind of exhaustion felt like. I slept for 12 hours after that. And it started to slowly turn into something that I enjoyed. And then working with her and things kind of started falling apart. I started disliking what I was doing and being in that darker place of my life that I was in. Like, I stopped doing photography as much. I stopped posting up for like 6 months. I stopped using my camera. I'd bought a brand new fucking camera for $2,000 and touched it maybe once or twice in like a 3 or 4 month period. And it's like my passion completely left.
Yeah.
And it was like,
So it's not like a set in stone thing.
no, and things do fluctuate, but if you find the love for it, like, don't let it slip up. Don't let it fucking get away from you,
Because you could,
because
it like, as at the same time as like that passion that you have, like, is fickle.
yeah,
Like, when it's there, it almost fuels itself. So if you hop on it, it become like the fire in your butt to go do something passionate. When you hop on it, that fire becomes fuel
yeah,
for the fire. And
Yeah.
it's just like this like nice like circle of what you're doing. You're passionate about it, and the fact that you're doing it increases your passion,
Yeah.
which makes you do it more, which increases your passion,
right.
which on and on
And
and
then
on.
it just keeps going and going. And like, if you have to take your breaks, you take your breaks, because you don't. That's the other thing, is if you have a passion or like a love for something, you don't want to burn it out. And that's what I was doing. I was realizing that I was falling out of love with photography.
It turned into work.
And it turned into work, and I realized I wasn't enjoying myself anymore, and I had
Yeah.
to take a step back. I had to take a break. And then when I finally started getting back into it, I was like, oh shit, like, oh, okay, it never left. I just was doing things for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, like when you and I were talking about that, like the entire idea of like, because basically it finally fucking hit me. Like, I was sitting here talking to you, and we were talking about like like loving what you do,
Yeah,
and I was thinking about this podcast and how like every single day I look forward to the next time we can sit at this table
Mhm.
and with these mics in front of our face and do this, because I love doing this.
Right.
And I just sat there like with just like itching to do another one, right? And then it fucking hit me like, if this imagine if this was your job. Imagine this is what paid the bills. This is what you could like make your living off of.
Yeah.
Then imagine like how it would feel to be itching to go work.
Right.
To literally not wait until you could go do what your job is. And it like that fire like tripled. And I
Yeah.
was like, holy fuck, that could happen. Like, that could be the reality. Like, that could be how
Yeah.
life unfolds. And I literally could be doing what I'm in love with doing
Yeah.
for a living.
And that's why I got really stoked when you ran the idea past me of like doing Instagram posts of like points that we talked about and
Yeah.
adding pages that people can look at. And I'm like, okay, cool. He's starting to actually like really get into this,
Get
because,
initiative.
and I'm not writing this off by any means. I'm just saying, like, if you think about a podcast, we're just having our conversations and recording it, but everything else
That's behind
leading
it.
up to it, the during part is just talking, but
Yeah, and it's
leading
the
up to
easiest
it and
part.
everything after is all the creative part about like, what can we do to make it better? What can we do to improve it? How can we constantly like grow?
Yeah.
And who can we get on next? And what kind of goals do we want to set? And that is the beauty behind doing any type of project, behind any type of like creative process, like, is how do I improve? What are the things I can do? And during the times that you're doing it, just executing it.
Yeah.
And like we recently got a compliment that I forgot to tell you about from a buddy of ours, Manny, and he was just like, you guys are getting better and better with each one. And it's like, it's a really weird statement when I think about it, because it's like, we're just talking.
Yeah.
But I started listening to the podcast, and you can really start to hear like
improvement.
Like this one started off natural.
Yeah.
Like we didn't
first
even fucking
handful,
have a hiccup.
Like the first handful, we started off with cold feet. We were just kind of like, all right, how are we going to get this steam engine rolling?
Like, especially with the, that thing that I brought up to you in Francisco, which again, I don't want that to change. I brought it up after the podcast ends, so I'll just bring it up here. I think I did. About when it starts, the first 20 to 25 minutes or 15 to 20 minutes.
We look to you to talk.
To start it. And I do appreciate that, just due to the fact that like it shows that I am pretty decent at like setting this up, because all of this is the stuff that I know how to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, of course I would have to be the one to start it, and I'm totally fine with that. But eventually it's going to become that for you.
Yeah, of course.
Where no longer is it going to be like,
no, I think we're already there at that level.
Yeah.
And like, it's funny how different it feels to just sit here and do this, because like the first time we did it, it was like
the first time or the first time?
Like the first time.
Okay.
And even the time after that.
Yeah. Talking about episode 1 that got deleted.
Yeah, episode 0. Yeah. That's what we'll call it.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Because it doesn't exist. But the first time we did this, it was like jumping into the deep end of a pool and not knowing where the bottom was.
Right.
Because you didn't know what people were going to think. You didn't know how you were going to sound. You go in with no topics planned. So you're just like, what if we just stop talking? Like, what if we just like go, I don't know what to talk about.
Right.
Like, and like the idea of like having no like safety net under your slack line.
Yeah.
And
that's where we very, very heavily lie on each other. Like we lean hard.
Well, yeah. And like, the point I was getting at with it is like that played the major role in our comfortability doing this. But then after putting it out and seeing just this like this response that we did not see coming, like just the support, the people that are talking to us in public that run into us just going like, this is the first thing they bring up, like, oh shit, hey, like I've been listening to your podcast, it's fucking great, I love it.
Yeah.
And like hearing that from people you didn't even, one, would think would be interested in podcasts in general, 2, would be interested in ours.
Yeah.
Like just blowing us away. And so now that like we get this like unreal feedback, and then on top of that, just experience in general of just doing this more than once, over and over and over again, we get better every time.
Right.
And it definitely, I think it definitely shows.
Yeah. And I think that's a perfect way to end it.
Yeah.
Because on top of that, not to bring up the time and all that stuff that we said we're going to stop doing, but it is just turned 2:19 in the morning. I have to wake up in, I don't know, 6 hours.
Yeah.
No, 5. And then I have to go film a fucking wedding.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited.
A lot of
weddings.
energy.
Oh my God.
You're going to be tired. One thing I wanted to bring up before we end.
Yeah.
Then I'm totally throwing him under the bus, but it's because I love him.
Okay.
Just talking about the comfortability in front of microphones and like not knowing like what it's going to be like. Francisco.
With the first part?
Yes. So like I'll let you. I love you, Francisco. I know you're listening, and bro, I gotta tell people. But like
he's gonna pause this and look at you.
He's gonna
work.
be like, you motherfucker.
He's just gonna pull out his headphone like, that's fucked up.
But like, we start like our like final cut of like our podcast with Francisco.
By the way, I have all that stuff saved.
Oh, perfect. It wasn't our first cut. Yeah. It was our second go because
when we say second go, it was like the first minute.
It was literally the first minute.
Yeah.
But you know, we like we do with all podcasts, we like do this overhead clap to just start it off.
Right.
And we like did the overhead clap and we were like, all right, guys, like let's start talking or whatever, and like let's get into it. And we were like, Francisco, why don't you introduce yourself? And he went blank face, stage fright, pale, and just was like, Francisco.
I think he said my name, Francisco, or just he
literally just like a fucking
Francisco.
Pokemon. Just Francisco,
go. And we laughed.
Cracked
Oh my God.
up, and he was not laughing. He was just sitting there like,
he's
fuck.
like, fuck you guys.
And then he was like, can we start that over? We're like, yeah, let's do it again. He's like, you guys can't throw me on the spot like that.
So
and that's where I noticed, like, holy shit, we're really comfortable doing this now.
That and just mixing in with the fact of like, we won't instantly make the guests start talking, because it was a cool point, and then we really got to end it, that I brought up to Caleb, was that you have to think with the guests that we have on, these are people that have never done a podcast before.
Yeah.
These are people that are nervous to talk in front of a mic.
It's like an interview thing.
Yeah. And so it's like when you hear other podcasts, these are people that have been on different podcasts before, or have their own and they're guests on different shows. So it's like they know what's going on. And it's not even a different personality either. It's just you have to ignore the thing that's sitting in front of you.
You have to like let it melt away. And like Francisco said, like once he started talking about cars, he forgot he was talking to a microphone.
Yeah.
It just kind of like poof,
which is also dangerous.
Gone.
Well, yeah,
somebody's
of course. Slip up and say something offensive.
But you forget the microphone's there, so the stage fright's gone. But you also never lose the fact that you're talking to other people.
That's a good point.
So you sit here and talk as if as if you're like on a conference call on a phone.
And when I said like people could slip up, like Caleb and I are as raw as it gets with this. Like this is how we talk.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we have conversations with each other, with other people. Like there's no filters, none of that shit. So it's just natural conversation. And good goddamn, sorry, I don't mean to yawn, but fuck.
ASMR yawn.
Oh, nice. So, are you happy? Are we good?
Yeah,
I think we're good to wrap up, dude. It was really nice. This was fucking 2 a.m, and it's just. It flowed nicely.
Yeah, I had a feeling that it wouldn't be as deep as normal, because like
it got deep toward the end.
No, yeah, it did, but like not as deep as we normally go. Just because like, brain power at the AM of night is fucking
the AM
low.
Of night.
The AM of night, yeah.
The AM of night.
It's the morning, but it's night.
7. Shit. No.
7.
I don't fucking. That
Nick's
literally
brain is gonna start throwing words out.
Eric. Okay. So, with that being said, we'd just like to thank everybody for tuning in. Shit, what episode is this? 6? Okay. We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to episode 6 of the Nick and Tub podcast. And we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
See you guys next time.
Bye.